great segue into our next conversation, which is
Basketball.
about the Atlanta Hawks. So we might see the Brooklyn Nets, but we have to make it past the 76ers.
We do have to make it past. I will say this. I definitely underestimated the 76ers. I mean, I've been talking about the playoffs since about maybe a month before the playoffs started, and the top three were pretty much guaranteed, right? Because of how far away they were from everyone else. And I just kept thinking, wherever the Hawks land between 4 and 6, I kind of hope they land 4 or 5, because if they get past that first round, they'd have to face number 1 seed after that. Number 1 seed was looking like it was going to be Sixers. I thought they would be the easiest of the three, be them, the Nets, and the Bucks. The Sixers.
What is that? Because you think the other teams, like, they hit at the right spot, right time, or something?
I think the Nets and the Bucks are just better teams. At least that's what I thought at the time. I thought the Sixers were beatable. The Sixers are beatable. I'm not saying they're not, but they are damn good.
Well, they're obviously beatable. You saw they thrashed them the first game,
Yeah. Well, no, we only won by 4. We were thrashing them.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
They pulled the Falcon. They thrashed them the first half.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm going to get into. So we kind of went ahead of ourselves a little bit, but for anyone who's not aware, the NBA players are going on right now, and they're in the second round in both the Eastern and Western Conference. So technically the conference semifinals. The Hawks made it past the first round. They beat the Knicks in 5 games, and now they're playing against the number 1 seed, the Philadelphia 76ers. As Zeus is alluding to, we were really whooping their asses in the first half of the first game, and then the Sixers brought it back, but we ended up winning by 4 points. Since that first half, I don't think we've played a good half of basketball the entire time since then. The biggest thing is, and it was very clear in game 3, the Sixers are the best defensive team I've watched while watching the Hawks play this season. They swipe at everything. There's this thing Trae Young does a lot where he lob it up, and Capella will either get up there and dunk it in, or Collins or whatever, and no team seems to be able to know what to do about it. The Sixers are intercepting these balls out of the air. I've not seen a team handle Atlanta like this in all the time I've been watching this season. So they are legit. Their defense is for real. I struggle to see how they're gonna get past, especially considering how Embiid is getting all the calls. Everything.
I know that's one thing that I'm like.
He just does a head shake thing, and it's a foul. I'm like, oh, freaking hell. So, and he's already tall. He's already an imposing figure, and then you're gonna give him all the calls. So it's been rough. I believe this team can win, because we've seen what Atlanta can do when they're hot from the 3-point line. It's just right now they're not getting looks from 3-point.
Yeah.
And but if they get that, I think they can figure it out. I think Nate McMillan can figure it out. So
they have a chance to even up the series.
Yes, Monday.
Which you gotta hope for, because if they don't, I don't see them coming back from a 3-1 deficit.
Yeah, 3-1. I don't see the Hawks winning 3 straight against Philadelphia. So
you froze on me.
You know what I just realized? I didn't connect my Ethernet cable, which is what I normally do when we record. This is what happens, guys, when we've been up for a month. We forget the little things, like being hardwired. So anyway, that's all I was gonna say on that. That's it's gonna be tough. Being down 3-1 is probably game over, but we have.
Well, I mean, you never know. I mean, look, Game 7 might be. There's a lot of series that have gone to Game 7. Quick question: if you think by somehow we go 3-1 and then they do come back and beat them in 7 games, do you think this would be the hardest challenge that they have during the entire playoffs? Or could be the hardest challenge, or do you think the Brooklyn and Bucks they're still hard teams to deal with?
To be fair, I haven't watched the Nets play since Game 1 against the Celtics. The Nets apparently have been dominating the Bucks. Apparently, the Bucks won one game 86-83, very defensive game. But from what I was hearing from Stephen A. and all those other pundits, the Bucks didn't look good. They just kind of lucked into that win. So. I haven't seen the Nets play, so I can't say for sure. But honestly, if you come back 3-1 against a team like the Sixers, you should be going into every game with extreme confidence afterwards. So,
and how how's the other conference look? Like
the Western Conference. So the Suns and the Jazz are pretty much running the show over there. Yeah, I'm seeing that Chris Paul is having like pretty good games with the Suns. I think right now they're up 2-0 on the Nuggets, who has Jokic, who just won the NBA MVP, the first European player to do so. So,
and before we move on to the next subject, I was gonna ask because I was thinking about this. By the way, I don't know about the Western, but I know for sure in the Eastern. In the Eastern Conference, this would be the first championship for any team that wins.
is that true? The Nets, the Sixers must have won before.
Sixers have won. So if the Sixers get beat, even though they include the Hawks.
No, have the Hawks won?
Yeah, they won one, but they were in St. Louis.
Oh, okay, yeah, but not as an Atlanta team, because I know the
no. Atlanta
championship
has only won one championship in its entire
Braves.
existence.
Yeah.
We even lost the Civil War. That's how bad we are.
I mean, it was like burnt to the ground.
But there's like an interesting fact that I'm trying to pull up right now, where it's like if think if it's like after one team was eliminated, it made it where there was no that it would be the first time.
Okay, go.
All right, again, welcome back. Technical issues and everything. So if I caught it, I figured out what it was. So this is actually going to be in the Boston Celtics, Dallas Mavericks, Los Angeles Lakers, and Miami Heat's all eliminated in the first round. Made it the 2021 playoffs will ensure that one team will win its first championship in the 21st century.
Okay.
So, like Nets, Clippers, Jazz, Suns, and the Nuggets would have a chance to go for their first one. Hawks, Bucks, and 76ers have had long-ass droughts. So 76ers is the closest one, 1983. They won theirs, right? Milwaukee Bucks won in 71. And then, of course, Atlanta Hawks, they were the freaking St. Louis Hawks, which I don't count it. I mean, none of us celebrated here in Atlanta. We really don't. So, but that'd be since like 1958. So, if the Bucks and the 76ers out, this would be the first championship for every city. This would be the chance for each city would have a chance to get their first championship. Let's put it like that, because we don't count the Hawks. I'm sorry.
No. It's
Hawks,
like
not the Atlanta Hawks.
It's like we don't count the Boston Braves.
Yeah, I was gonna ask. Did the Boston Braves win some too?
I'm pretty sure they did. Yeah. Well, we don't count that. We say the city of Atlanta has one championship. Let's try and make it two. Well, actually, I also count Atlanta United.
No, we got two. You're right. We do have two.
So anyway, that's our NBA recap. Hopefully next time we're recording, the Hawks will be in the Eastern Finals, but we'll see.
Let's go. So now we're gonna move on to a little bit of a darker.
Yeah. So
talk about this situation, man. I saw the clip and I was like, I did one of those like gasps. Like this is kind of like scary to think about.
Yeah. So every 4 years there's a continental tournament that goes on. They call it it's the European Championships by UEFA, but it just goes by the Euros, right? So there's Euro 2016. This one's supposed to be Euro 2020, but obviously Corona pushed it back. So they still brand it as Euro 2020, even though it's being played in 2021. This is one of the first tournaments where it's being played in multi-city, right? Like a multi-country type of tournament. So I believe Italy's game yesterday was played in Italy. And then the game we want to talk about today was Denmark versus Finland, which is being played in Copenhagen, Denmark. And during the game, Denmark has more like superstars than Finland, big name players. Kasper Schmeichel, the goalkeeper, won the FA Cup with Leicester this year. Delaney, I actually don't remember where Delaney plays for. But like throughout the lineup, they've got star players. One of them, probably their biggest player, is Christian Eriksen. And what happened today is that in the middle of the game, he was walking towards the sideline, looked like he was feeling under the weather or whatever. I think he was going to sideline to get some help, and then they did a throw in and they threw in the ball, and I think like the ball like barely touched him, and he like collapsed to the ground. Immediately, his teammates went to him. They noticed something was wrong. Apparently, the captain of the Danish national team started doing CPR on him, which
I thought it was the doctor.
no, the captain of the team did that, which some say may have actually saved his life because he was there so quickly. Then the medical, the medics, the medics came out. They did about 10 minutes of like resuscitative actions right there. And then they finally put him on a stretcher. And when he was in the stretcher, he was responsive. There's a picture of him with his head up, so you know he's fine. He was later taken to the hospital there in Copenhagen. He apparently FaceTimed the team, told them that he's fine, that they should, win the game. They lost. They lost the game, but he was fine. He's doing well. Christian Eriksen came from Tottenham as well, as we were talking about Tottenham earlier with Harry Kane. He went to Inter Milan, won Inter Milan's first Serie A title in a very long time. This season actually. So he's a very big player in the game. Some are thinking that if there's some underlying condition like this that's making him collapse in the middle of a game, then not sure whether he can carry on playing, which is sad. He's a 29-year-old, really young, well-known player, really good. It'd be sad for his career to be cut short.
In soccer years, is that young?
That's very young. Well, no, it's not very young. That's like prime of your career. It would be sad if his career is cut short, but I think most importantly is that his life wasn't. He was saved, and that's great. Because as a Newcastle United fan, I actually know very well of this sort of thing happening. One of our former players, Cheick Tiote, died on the pitch. Like he just this is 2017, just collapsed, and before they could do anything to save his life, he lost his life. There's another player that plays for Bolton. The name escapes me right now, but same thing. He collapsed on the pitch. Luckily, he was saved. Not sure what's causing this. It's not often enough to say it's like a thing that is like, oh, we have to figure out.
I would attribute it. I mean, there's probably a lot of underlying health conditions that people don't know about. Just what is it when it's genetics?
Hereditary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just some people just unfortunately they have that where they just end up getting. Remember the Express? What's his name? Ernie. The Express. The football player. Yeah, who got leukemia? He got leukemia. So anyway, it's it's just one of those things where sometimes it's just unfortunately it's just not it's nothing that can be prevented. Ernie Davis was his name.
Ernie Davis, okay.
Played by Rob Brown in the movie. And I would think that probably one thing that does not help, even though soccer players are among the most healthy players because you're running all freaking day.
Yeah.
But are you really supposed to run as much? Is your body really capable of doing that, right? You know what I mean? Your body adjusts.
It's 45 minutes, and then you have a 15-minute break, then it's 45 minutes again. And
then it's how many days in a year? How many days in a week?
Yeah, and I'm not trying to say that this is exactly what happened, but the previous season was delayed a little bit because of coronavirus, and then it ended up ending in July. Oh no, yeah, late July. Picked up again in late August, so barely any break. And then they played all the way through to May. Inter Milan, which is Christian Eriksen's team, wasn't in the Champions League final, but there are teams like Chelsea and Man City that were in the Champions League final. So they were playing all the way till end of May, and then they're back at it with the international competition now.
Your body breaks down. Look at the NBA.
Yeah.
The Miami Heat and the LA Lakers were out their first round. They were the ones with the smallest break in NBA history of the smallest offseason, because I think it was 85 days, 75 days? Their offseason. The body broke down. People were over there. What happened to LeBron James? I'm like, yo, dude, they also only had 2.5 months for what usually is what? How long? What's the difference? What's usually
because the NBA finals usually in June, and the NBA season usually starts in October.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like 4 months, I think. Usually
4 months, 4 to 5 months. Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's just like your body breaks down. So I'm glad the young man, what's it called, woke up though.
Yeah.
He woke up. He looks like he's responsive, but hopefully it's not one of those. I'm pretty sure they keep monitoring him because
Yeah.
you hear
They're
cases
gonna
where
monitor
people wake
him.
up, they're alert, and then all of a sudden something happens and they're out.
Yeah. And so I didn't see it when it happened live. I was like, I read up on it and I saw clips because I was watching the game earlier, and then I left. Then I was listening to it on the radio, and then I went to go have lunch with a friend. And as I got back into the car, I saw like messages like, "Did you see what happened, Christian Eriksen? You see?" So then I turned on the radio, and they were still talking about it because they went on a break. I think like an hour plus long break 90 minutes, yeah, before starting the game again. So yeah.
You think they should have? You think they should have delayed it for the day? Like, be like,
No,
let's just pick it up again tomorrow.
The players asked for it. They asked to finish the game that day.
You're stupid. You're like, he said, go and win the game. They lost.
He
was like, guys, win it for me.
Yeah, no, but so it was 0-0 when that happened. The game resumed, and the goal that Finland scored was a goal that Kasper Schmeichel should save every 10 out of 10 times. It slipped under him, and then
your teammate almost dies. You're probably not into it.
Yeah, and then Denmark had a penalty, and it was one of the worst penalty kicks I've ever seen in my life. So it could be attributed to them not being in the full headspace, but yeah, they lost 1-0.
But this is like every soccer situation, right? A soccer tournament, like best three, it's a group, and
it's a group. Yeah. They're not out. Yeah, they're in a group stage, and it's like 4 teams in that group. They have to play each of the other 3 teams basically.
And then it's what is it? Aggregate, where you
the aggregates. So it's not a home and away situation. You're just playing them one time, and what happens is the top 2 teams in that group. So it's 6 groups. Top 2 teams go through, and then the 4 best third place teams go through. So by points. Yeah. So you can have a round of 16, and then 8 for 2. Yeah.
Okay, but. My question is, I can kind of get that. How do they? So is it all right? If you sweep the other 3 teams, then obviously you're in, right?
Yeah. Oh, how do they determine? So points are, if you win, you get 3 points. If you draw, you get 1 point. If you lose, you get 0 points.
Okay, so that it's just, there's a way. By the way, I think your fly that's in your house just came to my, because I saw it.
That's
or you know what? That's that fly's co-host.
That's what was messing with our connection. It was trying to bridge the gap between.
It went through the Ethernet.
Yeah.
All right, man. So, all right, that's sports.